You have all the families? Right? Thank you. Let's start with the roll call. Fire David,
Robert.
and we have, on Zoom, AM. No, board members? Yes, they're all, yeah. Okay, on the Zoom members, will Mr. Johnson, inform us, are you there? Mr. Johnson? Rich? Are you here?
Raymond Johnson's here. That's plain, but it's really me. I'm on twice.
Ray, you need to unmute. Okay. We'll come here. This is Johnson, Ray? Are you present?
Ray,
Yeah, since here I'm on my wife's computer.
Oh, yeah.
We will also do a consider Mr. D'Alessandro here. He's here, we can see it official, Mr. D'Alessandro is in the blue, third row down, and Mr. Johnson is the fourth row down in the middle, and, aloha. At this point, I would like to, conduct the pledge of allegiance, please, all right.
I take it.
again, that's what we ask Jim and Jessica, what is the proper approach here.
Okay, great.
All right, let's do it. Should we go the back way or the front way?
Let Jessica know.
Well, there's probably people out there.
Oh, are
so
there?
probably that is- Okay, so we'll just go to, yeah, that way. All right.
Right. I don't know what it was. Quite a bit. I have no idea. I know, not too. Crazy. They're gonna start out in 20.
Yeah, or anybody.
Yeah, on the third.
The board is convened. Thank you. Mr. Simmons, please address the board.
Madam President, tonight we're here to vote on the amendment number 4 to Jim Emmons' contract. It wasn't in the agenda, but I do have extra copies if anybody wants a copy. So you need to make a motion. Someone needs to make a motion. Second.
Okay.
So move.
To approve the proposed amendment as written and as discussed.
Yes, you have my motion.
Second,
Second.
thank you, Mr. Johnson, second. At this point, I'd like to do a roll call and see who approves, starting. Starting with Johnson.
Robertson.
Marion Myers, aye.
No.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.
Johnson, aye.
Thank you. So the ayes have it 4-1. So the motion has been approved. Thank you very much, everyone. At this point, Mr. Sam Perez, Deputy Sam Perez will give us his report.
Well, first of all, good evening, and I'm happy to see a lot of people here today. I recognize about a third, other 2/3 not yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll come across y'all on the road or here in the future. Well, I didn't mean that in a bad way. Just said that people come to me all the time, talk to me, so I have no problem with that. Just don't do it when I'm having someone pulled over. Oh yeah. Well, first of all, this has probably been the last month. It's probably been the best month in terms of no incidents occurring in Duluth. Nothing really violent or anything. The only really bad thing that happened around our area was the fatality accident that occurred yesterday in Rancho California. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about it. I'm only talking about it because it kind of impacts us in terms of the lookout. Even though the lookout is not within our district, it has been a thorn in our side since I've been up here. That's why my partners worked in terms of shutting it down, putting up the barriers and everything to stop the stolen vehicles, the drugs, all of the felony warrants that I received there. So that has lowered our calls for service in our area. So, but unfortunately, yesterday we had a preliminary investigation by CHP. They says we had an individual at the lookout, was facing northbound, parked on the side of the road. Went to do a U-turn to go back to Temecula. Unfortunately, it was an unsafe U-turn and was struck by a vehicle heading northbound on Rancho California. That resulted in fatality. But once again, this is the preliminary investigation that was given me yesterday. Things may have changed, but more on lines of safety in that aspect. When I reviewed the calls for services last month and everything, like I said, there wasn't anything really significant, but there was a lower volume of suspicious vehicles, suspicious persons.
Okay, this is
And
gonna be too
I've said in the
complicated.
past, I encourage people to call. If there's a vehicle that's unfamiliar to your area, that's part that should be on parked on the side of the road. We have avocado grows, we have citrus out there, possible thefts. Actually, for the past like 2 or 3 months, I've been following a Tesla around up in Duluth, a black Tesla. Some of you guys are probably aware of it. There was an individual that would park, sleep there at nighttime, and basically came to our area because of it's safe for the most part up in Duluth. So he felt safe there. My last interaction was Sunday night with him, and supposedly he'll be out of the area from now on. But please contact us. Speaking of which, we had a call for service today. That was like 5 hours late of a vehicle being parked in one of our cul-de-sacs in the morning. but they reported in the afternoon. So I really can't do anything about it at that point, but when you see it, contact somebody. We have a non-emergency line, which is really simple, 951-696-HELP. And if you can't remember that in the heat of the moment or something's really bad, just dial 911. They'll understand, it gets triaged, and then they'll be sent to the non-emergency line. But like I said, it was a good month of last month. With that being said, any questions from the board? From the audience? Okay, that concludes my report. Thank you.
The board of directors, and when you get final report. The amount of times the 3 minutes to do that. So with that in mind, first person to come up with the regarding Sandia Creek gate project and is Alma Park.
Good evening. Thank you for having us here. And I want to introduce myself. Alma Carpenter. I'm a volunteer with the Sandia Creek Road Committee. There's 5 of us. We have 1 vacancy. And I was asked to come here and share with you what we're doing about traffic and what we're doing with the gate project that maybe some of you know about. If you don't know about it, I'm happy to explain it. But because we have 3 minutes, I'm going to try to be very brief. And then I welcome any questions afterwards. The reason I'm here is because we as a community have a shared concern. And the shared concern that I believe that we have is the traffic that's running through our communities. We did a study because we had to, the county asked us to, and almost 80% of the people that go through our roads, including your roads, are people that are the traffic coming from the 15. And it's cut through traffic. It's people that don't live in our communities. They are from other cities and trying to get somewhere without either going through the checkpoint or maybe using a shortcut. But we did some work on identifying what the issues are. And the issues are, number one, that we have people that are very disrespectful in the way they drive, which causes a lot of accidents. We've had some deaths on our road, some serious accidents. We have some crime element, human traffickers, drug traffickers that try to avoid the checkpoint. So they use your roads, our road to get around it. We have overweight trucks that either don't have the license, don't have the money or insurance, and they want to avoid the scales. So they use our roads. And we actually had a fatality for that reason on our road with a man that was overweight trying to haul something and actually went over the ravine and died. So these are big concerns. Recently in our community, I don't know about yours, but we've had issues with vagrancy and homelessness. People that are saying, maybe this is a good place to camp out. It looks pretty nice. We should try it. Some of them have called or tried to break into people's homes, knock on the doors, come up with reasons why we should open the door. But it's a concern for our community. What are we going to do about it? Our community has 4,000 cars, 45,000 cars per day that goes through our community, goes through the road. And these are people that we don't know. They're not in our community. They don't live there, but they're using the roads. What is different about your communities and ours is that we don't have any funding. We don't have state funding, county funding. So the road that we have is pretty much our responsibility to maintain. And the reason that we asked the county to allow us to put up gates is so that we could stop that. Stop what's happening because it's madness. It's not safe for our residents and it's not safe for the community or even your community. So the reason I'm here today is to invite you to help. I'm sorry, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here today to invite you to help in any way that you can in our community so that we can put these gates up as quickly as possible. And I thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know afterwards. Thank you very much.
All right, on the same subject, Mrs. Shauna General. Good night.
She's via Zoom.
This being Zoom. Okay. Mrs. Jenko, if you can please address the board at this point.
Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to say hi, and I've heard, I have some friends there at the meeting, and I'm just so happy that there are so many people here this time. I have been coming to these meetings since February. Coincidentally, it was regarding the gate. Last month, I came to the meeting because I heard it was a big deal, and unfortunately, or as usual, I and my husband were the only people attending. So congratulations on having a great turnout. That's great. So one of the things that we talked about last month was transparency, and the fact that you guys are missing a lot of meeting minutes and videos. I have that list. I could read it to you, but I'm not going to. It's over 20 items. So you guys really do need to address that. The other thing that I'd like to talk about is Brown Act violations. You guys talked about something that wasn't on the agenda, and that in itself is okay, but what's not okay is to take an action. And I believe that you guys did take an action on something that's not within your purview and was not on the agenda. So I don't know, maybe Ward Simmons could look into that and see if there was a Brown Act violation last month.
Excuse me, Mrs. Danko, could you be more specific? What particular action on what?
You know, Marianne, unfortunately, I cannot hear you. Everything that you're saying is garbled. I wish I could. I'm just going to end this up really quickly. Again, one of the other reasons that I do follow you guys is because we are interested. We have a lot of things in common. We both have privately maintained public roads, you know, and we're interested in what other ways funding can happen. So, you know, that's another reason. Anyways, again, thank you for letting me speak, and I appreciate being able to attend your meetings. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on that same subject, the gate project, is there done?
So. Everybody serves that. How you guys doing tonight?
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to be here. I'm very thankful that all you guys are well and stuff. I know we only got 3 minutes here, so I kind of want to address a few things. 6 minutes? You want to give me your time? Okay.
We also have, Eddie Rodriguez is donating.
Okay. Yeah, he's donating his time to me. Okay, so I'll kind of cut to the chase here. I got several phone calls from over here because I've been over here so many times and kind of got this thing kick-started over here 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever it was and stuff. So I think that we got the permits for the gates and stuff. We're on the last portion of this thing. That, you know, of course, the county's still being obstinate about a few things and trying to drain the pocketbooks and everything else. So first, I want you to understand that we understand that our goals are shared here on both sides. People live on Santa Creek on both sides here and stuff. This will benefit both of us here because you guys get the nightmare over here just like we do over there. And they've given us 2 operational gates. We were going for 1, but they made us do 2 gates now and 2 turnarounds and stuff. And, and it's worth remembering that a handful of us has worked since 2015 to get where we are today. And we do have the permits and stuff. So we're trying to raise some funds up and above that. The county and a few of these lawsuits that had come through here, the legal stuff, not the lawsuits, but the legal stuff has kind of drained us down to, 40, 50,000 bucks less than we started off with. So we also need some the help financially on this here stuff. So we got the discretionary permit, the 2 traffic control gates, working on the turnarounds. I got the bids on all those things. So if you guys have
I've gotten several questions on who's gonna be handling the finances when they come in over there and stuff. And Alma over here is represented from the road committee. I'm not a rep, you know, I work with the road committee, but I'm not from the road committee, so I don't have that authority. But I want to make sure that you guys are all covered. Whoever puts money into it or anything else is covered on that so that you don't, you know, your money's just, you don't know where it's going. So what I think needs to happen on it, I think there needs to be a third party, which has been mentioned to me several times, to handle the gate codes, to handle the money that comes in from the donations and the different financial things like that. So I think there needs to be a third party to handle it, other than the road committee or, you know, me or anybody else in here. So I think we, and the need, whoever wants to ask about how the funds are going to be spent needs to talk to the road committee over here. And I highly, you know, encourage you to give them a call so that they can give you a you know, step-by-step function of how the funds come in, how they're going to go out and stuff like that. Now, I did get the bids on these things. It's just a little under $100,000 for 2 turnarounds and 2 gates. So, and then we're setting the thing up, you know, so everybody can get a beeper and stuff for a certain amount per month or per year, and that hasn't been cut in stone yet. So, any suggestions or any ideas on that stuff is more than welcome. And I mean, we're right down at the 24th hour. We need to get this thing done because this gate permit is only good till 2003 or 23. So, and then let's see, what we're going to do is, in my opinion here, and I'm not speaking for the road committee now. What we need to do is have a company come in and take care of the codes, etc., like that, so that kind of puts some of the conflict out of the road committee, the San Diego side, the Riverside side over there. So, and anybody that wants this needs to apply for it over there. We're not trying to shut anybody off. There's been a lot of people from the Riverside area over here that's just been phenomenal as far as their support and stuff like that. And that's why I'm up here, is I'm trying to address some of the questions that they had for me. And Alma's here to answer questions, or if you don't want to talk to her, the road committee, you I'll give you their number or whatever it is to contact them. So that's pretty much it that I have here. So, any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Is there a fund set up? Is there
Yes, there is a
fund get
GoFundMe.
into?
They have a GoFundMe fund set up for if you go to Sandy Creek Road Committee in the Fallbrook, there is a GoFundMe fund set up on that. They didn't put a lot of emails out on that thing. I had a ton of emails all set up where I could send them out and stuff like that, and we kind of lost track, or they kind of
How
lost
much
track.
is in that account right now?
I don't know.
37,000.
They get
You need
37.
100, right?
Yeah, we need roughly 100.
Sir, where are your gates located?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, where are your gates located? Is there somewhere on the line we can find out where they're going to be located?
The gates, I don't know if you can go online and stuff like that, but I'd be more than happy to supply you with the plans. Just contact me after we get through here and I'll give you my card, and I'll be more than happy to get that stuff to you. I'm the one that's been working on the gate bids and everything else, so I know exactly where everything's going out there. So I'll get that to you. Yes, sir.
Is your road department or road committee working with our general manager, CSD and Duluth?
Well, no, not at the moment.
So we can keep up to date with how this is.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to supply all the information to them. So, I mean, we've obviously had some conflict of interest on this stuff as far as who owns the roads, who doesn't own the roads, blah, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. We've looked, all this been worked out with the county. The county's made everything clear, and the attorneys have made everything clear. So, yes, ma'am.
Have you considered a free website to put all the information on? So all we have to do is go to the website and
Well, I
read about it.
I can probably make that happen for you.
You have a-
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. And if you need anything, please just call. I'm more than happy to do whatever it takes to make this thing happen. Thank you.
Thank you much. Thank you for the update. Next person up is in regards to, I think it says Fuego Farms, and that's the South Kansas Corporation facility. And I asked, are you James James Wade?
I am.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. I didn't intend to be here tonight, but I was asked last second to come. My name is James Wade. I represent a group. I guess we have two different names, either Protect Duluth. You may have seen our signs. I did take the little wooden post down. I'm sorry they were up for so long. We intended to use them again, but we're also called Keep Out Big Weed. And so right now the County of Riverside has a conditional use permit on the books that they're going to vote on in January for what they call a mixed light cannabis cultivation facility. It's 17 greenhouses and a 5,000 square foot packaging and processing facility. And the total facility is 68,000 square feet. And I mean, I've read every document multiple times. They've issued a mitigated negative deck. They have, I mean, honestly, it fails to meet CEQA. It fails to actually mitigate the concerns of the community and what could potentially impact our communities. And so I kind of wanted to get up here and briefly discuss some of the things that are happening. We sent out a letter to the community. I would say we're somewhere between 50 and 75% of the community has signed a letter of opposition to this project. Man, we got like 800 letters right now, and most of them come from our community. We did that all in about 4 weeks. Most of the community was unaware of this project. I have 6 minutes, right?
You have 6 hours.
Okay, I probably got like 3 left. All right. Thank you very much. So, I mean, I could literally talk for hours with all the information that I know. And how do I quantify that? I mean, I'll break it down. There is a general plan for our area that was created by the county. It actually defines our area as one of 3 unique communities in Riverside County. And it is very unique. I mean, I grew up in La Cresta, so I very much love the area and I understand how unique it is, but not everybody sees that. And I do not believe that this facility is compatible with our area. I want to bring to the attention that the other properties are being rezoned right now to Ag 1 from residential ag. We've reached out to the planning department. They have stated that they're not going to provide any assurances that it will not be for cannabis. They said that's what the public hearing process is for. I don't believe that process has actually worked to this point, to be honest. So I wanted to bring, this is not an isolated event. This is not happening in just our area. And so everybody knows, I live across the street from this facility, so I'm very much vested in it. And I moved my whole family from Orange County to come live here. And it's like, all right, well, here we go. Back at it. I read the letter from CSD to Sheriff Bianco. And so I want to tell you, I appreciate your concerns for the safety of the community. I think that's fantastic. And I hope that wasn't the last attempt from this committee to to share your concerns. I think Sheriff Bianco and Sam Perez have done a fantastic job. Deputy Perez has done a fantastic job of protecting our community. I mean, you heard the statistics. And I mean, we have no idea how this is going to impact our area. And so I hope we continue to look into the law enforcement issues. And I don't know where I'm at time-wise, but I hope that the CSD takes a stance that this is not compatible with our area. And 2 more minutes. Man, we have a website, protectduluth.com. Our Gmail is protectduluth@gmail.com. If there are any questions, I would love to talk in depth. Like I said, I have endless amounts of information. I don't want to bore you here, but I just wanted to bring it to the attention of everybody. We'd love for the community to come together. We need people to reach out to Jeffries, Supervisor Jeffries. Go ahead.
Do you have where the supervisors vote?
Yes.
Say, is it going to go up to Riverside to the
Yes.
supervisors?
We'll be doing the exact same thing.
Do you
So,
know when that is?
so right now, I believe it's January 11th is the vote for the Board of Supervisors, but that's tentative, and we will not know until about 3 weeks prior to the vote. And so we just started unfortunately, our community meeting was slated for tonight before I knew about this. So I'm here and the rest of the group is there, and we're just trying to separate it. But once again, just trying to create visibility. We appreciate everyone's support. If you have questions, please ask me. The more we come together, the better chance we have of stopping this. I've literally heard it recently that this would be the premier spot to grow cannabis in Riverside County. And Duluth is not that place. And I'll leave it at that.
And James,
Yes.
24 hours, 7 days a week, body or armed guard.
Oh, yeah. The facility's armed guard 24/7. They're going to have lights on at night. It's a state mandate. It's a state mandate. However, I think I said in my presentation, they're not there to hand out cookies. I mean, there's a crime element that exists with cannabis. I have a pretty extensive background. My family history is very much rooted in cannabis. If you want to know about it, I'd love to tell you. And yeah, I mean, go ahead.
And how many, I heard this before from,
Mhm.
but how many, tell everybody here, how many trucks they're talking about, because it will impact the CSD to our roads, how many trucks
Yeah.
are in and out a
Well,
day?
they have stated that they're under the threshold that's required by the county. So I don't think that that's really truly an argument. However, they failed to include or incorporate trucks for certain elements of their operation. They've only included what it would take for the employees to come and go. But there will be trucks coming with deliveries and whatnot, and that was not included. So I would love to speak more, but I want to make sure that I'm
Yeah, your time is up.
Okay.
I would like to add that the board are also residents here of this community, so what we feel as individual residents may be different from how we have to act as a board. As a board, we
Absolutely.
are not allowed to make any kind of land use decisions.
Sure.
However, we do have the supplemental sheriff control, which all the residents share in the cost of providing. And we have sent a letter to the sheriff of Riverside County asking what would the impact be of such an operation.
I've read both of them.
And we got an answer back, and we're planning on responding to that as well.
Okay.
So I want you to know that, you know, if it's much as what we can do from our ability to find
Understood.
out what the impact can be on this community, we're trying to do that.
Yeah, and I will, last closing statement is that I have seen that if there's ever a facility that could potentially create more safety issues for the community, like Pechanga, for example, that cost was passed to Pechanga for the increased law enforcement. It wasn't passed to the community. And I think that that's something that needs to be considered, is that it shouldn't be our responsibility to pay more money for the safety of our community when the county is putting this into our neighborhood. And I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks, thanks.
Next, stop sign on Sandia and Las Cruz Drive on Marine Swamp. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the time. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Mr. LeBring, can you hear me? Oh, okay. My name's Maureen Slump, and I've been up here 43 years. We live on La Cruz, and we have 6 La Cruzers here. And thank you to all of the Deluser friends up here. And we've had 2 fatalities on Sandia Creek in the 80s. There was hardly any traffic then. Our street is at a curve, and so I'm revisiting the stop sign situation. We really are requesting a stop sign on Sandia Creek and La Cruz. 2 years ago, my husband was almost killed going out of our street. He looked left, no one was there. And in a flash, someone was there, and we had to squeal out on 2 wheels practically to get past that person. This last year, there were 2 girls in a car that were leaving their friend on La Cruz, Sarah Hunt's family. And the girls were in an accident with a motorcycle, and the motorcyclist sued them for pulling out, and he hit them. So they got sued. This left a lot of trauma on this girl. And then just last week, I looked both directions. I looked right first, because that's the longer way. And then I looked to the left, because that's the shorter way when they get to that corner so fast. And as I turned out, someone came along from the right, from the Vaquero area, around that curve, and went right past me on the right side of the road, which isn't a passing lane, and flew through there. Okay, we have 30 homes on La Cruz now. It's a long street, so there's a lot more cars coming out. We need a stop sign. And I would like to ask Mr. LeBranc to look into this again. And all of us, if we could all talk, would be great. But we've got a guy with some pictures of what the road looks like. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think I forgot to put my name on the card.
Brown. Does Mr. Brown?
Nope.
Right
Okay,
there.
I did. Mine next.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, Chris Brown. I'm a resident on La Cruz, and we have significant problems because we have to slow down right after a curve to turn into our street, and the people following behind won't wait for us to finish the turn. So they whip out into oncoming traffic, and the curve has a rise at each end and then it comes down. So it's impossible to see a good distance either side. So I'm asking if the engineer could look into this and see if we can possibly get a stop sign because of the configuration of the road and the fact that we do have so much traffic as they attested. So it's significantly more, and I think the other stop signs have caused people to accelerate down the hill to where we are, which has made it a significant problem recently.
Mr. LeBranc, would you look into the issue and then bring a recommendation to the board?
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brown. Appreciate you bringing the issues in front of the board. Last speaker is Mr. Gene Bianchi, who is, by the way, our former president. So nice to have you back here. And he is going to be talking about Rancho issues.
Go to
Yes, to the podium. Your fish.
Follow the old rules.
Yes.
My name is Gene Bianchi. I live on Vista Del Mar in Zone 1, which is over in the far west corner of Duluth. Two issues, and it sounds like a lot of us have similar ones with people racing through Duluth. Where I get my mail is on the corner of Rancho and Los Gatos. Well, because of this Waze and so forth, sending all these cars through, they use Los Gatos to get to the 15 going through La Cresta. And in approaching that corner, we have our mailboxes. My next door neighbor, Michael Traverite, was going to be here tonight, but he emailed me and said he couldn't get away from work. He was almost hit getting out of his car to get his mail by this car ready to make the turn. I've been there where I've seen a guy sweep through, miss the turn, and go down and hit one of my other neighbors head on in his pickup truck. Well, the pickup truck was totaled, and the guy that hit him in his car broke both legs. So this is what we're running into on that corner. I know we have a four-way stop on Carancho and Duluth. We'd like to request one on Carancho and Los Gatos. And another one that's similar to that is on Calamar and Duluth. On that corner, if you're going, like I will go out to Sandia Creek that way to go to Fallbrook. That's why I use some of their streets. And in doing so, as you approach Duluth, on the left-hand side coming up Duluth, it's a blind corner. I look both ways and I'm very cautious, look back again, no cars. I started 10 feet out and this guy zooms by me and almost loses control to go on, continue on Duluth. So I wish we could look at that corner also. And I talked to Pedro, one of our workers here earlier before the meeting, about some of the potholes that are coming up throughout the Luz. So I hope the engineering team can address those soon. And on a last good note, I'd like to thank the Women's Club for all those signs they put out through Duluth. That's beautiful, no littering and so forth. That's a great job. That's good. Like pride of ownership. Yes, we need more of that. Thank you.
Well, if we can, on the issues that Jean brought to the fore, if we should ask Steve Weaver and both to look into the matter and bring a recommendation to the board. I did.
Question?
Excuse me.
I have a question. Duluth is a county road.
Sure, we are able to make this decision for since it falls under.
Well, I know we did that before
Yeah,
with Toronto,
okay,
so maybe we could work with the county.
okay, it may have to be in cooperation.
Right.
yes. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Excuse
Thank you
excuse me.
for bringing that to my attention. Okay. Next item on our agenda is information of the state and investment policy and financial statement.
Excuse me, this is Dave Jenga. Could I say something, please?
Board members went through, and if there's any questions, if we want. So, the next item is item 2, consent calendar. And that would be the minutes of October regular board meeting, the general fund claim for October 21, sheriff's tax claim for October 21, and the order of which there are none. At this point, I'd like to have a motion to pay.
Move approval?
Robert Alexander made a motion. Can I have a second? Robert second. Robert second. Okay. Sorry. Yes. So,
Still trying to find it.
okay. Go ahead. Okay.
The other thing I wanted to point out, I've been on the short for years, we have legal counsel for 2,000 and every.
Right, that's not part of.
This is, it's right here, it is right here because this is last month, 15,379 for legal. You add up what
You know,
years so far, that's one,
he looked,
so 65,000 so far legal. So, my opinion has a lot to do with leadership. And that's why I put it down on that raise deal. That's just, I've heard all these stuff.
Thank you. I would like to comment on the fact that we have 5 legal fees. And facts of those are we have had a lot of issues that we've had to ask for legal help with. One of them, of course, is the fuel tax, which is something that is greatly going to benefit the district. We've needed legal help in order to put together memorandum of understanding in order to present that to county transportation department in order to facilitate their approval to fund fuel taxes through the county and directly to the district. We're talking a lot of money. We're talking millions of dollars a year. That has not been coming to us, which were owed to us and which we deserve. And we are very close to getting that deal done. So I think spending a lot of legal issues, we definitely need to give a great thank you to Ward Simmons and BBK for that. We've also had a lot of legal help on other issues. Mr. Emmons can detail in further detail what they have been. but also equally effective here. Mr. Emmons, would you like to bring up any of the other items that we've had, the BVK help, I believe it's arbitration?
FEMA, yeah,
yeah,
there's
for FEMA.
550,000 in arbitration with FEMA. The state denied it, so we're taking it to FEMA.
And we
And
feel like we have a very
I
good
think we've got a very good, well, we'll see. Courts are courts, so, but anyway, that's taken a lot of time and effort. And so,
sometimes it just takes making the
Yeah.
investment in order
Uh,
to get
yeah,
the
thanks, that's good.
presentation. Very effective. I think we found
but
Why did we spend almost 200,000 on the state giving $100,000 for all trees? But in fact, we had to do that, all we have to do is go with them.
We need to find that out. I believe we will get onto that because I'm going to make a presentation on that. So I think I'll address it. That way. Okay. And I'll be happy to answer that to the question.
Also, Madam President, if I may, also this information is posted on our website. That's our financial activities. And there is definitely the community is welcome to be in touch with Jim Emmons, for example, yourself and other board members in terms of any questions that they may have. Any of them.
I believe that contact the staff, and the staff brings it to the board's attention. So, but we solve the issue, however it is resolved at that point, and that's what we've been able to do. I think we've brought a lot of transparency to the operations of the board in at least in the 4 years that I've been here. So I feel really proud of that. Yeah. All right. At this point, we have a motion and we have a second. I'd like to see if we can get members of the board to approve the consent calendar, starting with Ms. Adams. To approve the consent calendar. And I approve, I Byers approve. Ms. Roberts approves. Ms. D'Alessandro, do you approve? You approve? And Mr. Johnson, do you approve?
Johnson,
Thank you. Consent calendar has been approved. At this point, then we get to item 8, roadway construction projects, which has been a long ways coming, hasn't it? And we will hear about that. The Sandia Creek and Via Vaquero FEMA project was given to us by Mr. David.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it has been a long time. I mean, we awarded the project back in early September. For construction, we have told you, the board engineering committee, about how hard it was to get materials for the pipes and delayed them providing it. Got some great news. Contract is going to start on the 29th, right after Thanksgiving. Pipe is going to be delivered to their site on the 30th, the next day. So whole crew will be out there working away. So our delays are now over. So they'll actually have a good going there. We will be providing a full-time inspector out there and working with them on all the issues that happen during construction, keep everything going smoothly. We do have the contractor representative here, Ryan, he's the project manager. If any of you have questions for him, he's here available. And that's really all my presentation, Sandy Creek. It's all good news on that one.
Okay, if you would like to come to the lectern and just address the board and the residents.
Yep.
Of the particulars, I noticed a lot of delays just simply getting the product and the pipe delivered. So tell us.
Yeah. Well, good evening. I'm Ryan with Marietta Development. We did the first phase of all the reconstruction up there a couple years ago before COVID happened. And so we've been working with Dave and Ron regarding this next phase to finish up. So as they mentioned, unfortunately, we did have some material delays once we got awarded the project, but that's kind of been an industry standard thing lately with just trying to get materials right now and trying to get things moving with construction. The demand is there, but the materials aren't. So we've been struggling across the board as far as trying to get materials and get projects started. But we've got crews ready to go on the 29th. We've secured the pipe. It will be delivered at the end of the month. So we're looking forward to starting the project. The Sandia Creek portion is where we're going to start first. We're going to concentrate our efforts there. It's going to be about a 6-week process to get the road ripped apart, get the old pipes out of the ground, reinstall, put in the new head walls, backfill, get the street paved, and then move on to Via Vaquero. And that's going to be about a 4-week duration. So once we start, it's about a 10-week process, and we'll get in and out of there as soon as we can, hopefully beat those schedules and get the creek flowing again.
Well, it's just in general, when you are working on the Vaquero and the Sandia Creek will last about 6 weeks, and obviously that will close, and you'll have to do the
Correct.
Once you get around to the Via Vaquero part of the reconstruction, that should then leave Sandia Creek open, right?
Yes, Sandia Creek will be open.
So
Correct.
for the Sandia Creek impact of residents, it'll be 6 weeks.
Correct.
And for basically the Vaquero impacted residents, it's the whole entire 10 weeks, right? Because it's kind of closes that.
As far as traffic control goes, we'll try to just on Via Vaquero, since it's open, we're gonna have to do some flagging operations and traffic control. Obviously, we close half the street at a time in order to get the pipes across the street. So we'll do what we can to keep everything's open
So
and
that would be
things running
some
smooth.
partial.
Yeah.
You're gonna have traffic control.
Yes, absolutely.
You're not gonna shut the road down and have them all come to the street.
We'll do minimal closures. It'll be based upon safety, obviously, what we can do with our crews in order to get materials across the street, where we can do, like I said, for public safety, of course, as well as our people. If we just need to do a flagging operation, slow people down, get things around construction half at a time, that's what we're looking to shoot for. Minimal impact as we can to the streets.
Excuse me, I have a question.
You're
Once,
not doing any detours. You're going to control traffic on Sandia Creek and on Via Vaquero.
Yeah, so Sandia Creek's pretty close. So that portion we can do right now because it's already it's closed down, so we can handle everything we need to do there. But the Via Vaquero will keep open as much as possible, flow of traffic, so there's no impacts there as much as we can. But obviously crossing the street with those pipes, it's going to be difficult to have enough working room to keep safe for the crews.
Sandia Creek, where? What are you talking about? It's already.
So this is the 2 projects and not one road.
Oh, way up there. Oh.
Yeah, where the road's already shut down.
Yeah.
The road washed out.
Oh.
Yeah, that portion there.
You don't need to open it up.
Yeah. There's a lot of appreciation.
Yeah, well, we'll pave at least some cones and then what happens happens.
Yeah.
Another year or so, no problem.
I have a question.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and the Buena Vista reconstruction project is another project that we will be starting on, and this country will give us an update.
Right, on that one, we're in the, what we call the environmental review process. And it's a give and take with the different agencies. And we've had questions come back, or they've answered them, sent them back, just like we did on Sandia Creek.
Question.
Once they go through this process and all their questions are answered, then they go public, go through a 30-day review thing, and then we'll get a permit. Like last time, after we went into that 30-day, there was no comments back, and we got our permits relatively quickly. So we're hoping for the same thing. Again, with the environmental people and all their schedules, and with all the holidays coming up, I'm hoping they can get this done quickly, but I will not give you a date because I got yelled at and screamed last time because it kept changing on me. I gave you what they told me, and it didn't happen. So right now I'm just saying it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be by the end of the year or the first quarter, and then we'll get it built after that. We'll probably, best time to do that would most likely be April, when the rains are done.
In the interest of our residents, if you need to describe what the project, where it's located, and when it happened, what it actually is.
Yeah, Yes, it's Buena Vista Street and it's not a heavily trafficked street. I think there's 3 or 4 residents that live along it. And it had 3 60-inch corrugated steel pipe culverts underneath that were probably about 20 feet down below the roadway, big slopes on the side. Something happened during that major storm we had back February a few years ago, and it overtopped and it just washed out the whole roadway, all the embankments, crushed some of the pipes down below. And so it's a difficult job to get into and to reconstruct. And because of the 2 years that have been going on, I mean, we didn't really get to go ahead until last year to even start the, design environmental process going. So with that going on, things have grown in there. And so the environmental people, we have this habitat now and all this stuff you didn't have before. I go, well, everything was dead when it started.
Has it been closed for more than 2 years? Yeah, that's my question. You called us, would you like to tell the audience when that blowout actually happened?
It actually happened before I got here. Yeah, it was quite a while. I'm getting the two confused a little bit.
Well, Mr. Ennis, if you will.
2016.
Yes.
Okay.
Why the delay? I would like for you to tell people how our long interface with FEMA and how we had to go through.
And they ultimately denied it. And then we determined whether we had funds to do that. And it was determined we did. And so the project, well, we're environmental in this state now is like 2 to 3 years. So we've been doing the environmental on this day for what, 1.5 years? Is that about right?
Somewhere around in there.
When Mike was on the committee at the time. So that's when we started that process. So that's where it's hung up.
But it's been a long process.
Yes.
Funding to do this project to begin with.
Right.
Well,
I mean, we can talk about it if you really want to, why it took so long. Because FEMA initially indicated they would fund it and then determined that they would not. And when I came here, when I came in 18, or beginning of 18, it had already been 2 years in that process, 1.5 years. I'm not sure what. See, it was probably early in 16. So I don't know, how deep we want to go, but
it has been a very lengthy process. It's a very little road. There's just a few properties on it. However, those few property owners pay taxes just like the rest of us do, and fuel taxes and our special fees that we use for road maintenance stuff here. So,
There are other people other than that road in the community that to get around.
It is indeed.
Shortcut.
Yeah, it's used for very, very long. And so the board's decision before we became part of the board was to try and see if this could, since it was indeed a weather emergency that caused the blowout, was to try and secure funding for FEMA, which they indicated they would, which ended up that they would not. And then once you get rejected by FEMA, you can challenge that. And I think we have three tries at it, and that takes a long time. And that brings us back forward to when this board led and discussed the subject of reconstructing it, and it was decided by the board that we would recommence the reconstruction. Another couple of years went by while we were trying to secure permits.
Jim, I must be way off. I thought you started in 2017.
November 17.
What year?
17, right. I said the 1st of 18, so I was 2 months off, excuse me.
All right, so at this point,
Mm-mm.
thank you very much, Mr. Hunt. I just wanted to kind of help us know what was.
Yeah. I apologize for not knowing when it happened, because
You weren't here.
I wasn't here, and I should have remembered that.
That's right. All right, item 5, traffic safety and road maintenance. Mr. Steve Lieber, if you please update us on that item.
Okay, we have a presentation for you tonight. Coming soon. There we go. Okay, go ahead and advance, Jessica. So county chip sealed Duluth Road, many of you probably know, and we worked with them for a good month or month and a half to finish it up, and they did finally put the last portion of it, which is the raised reflective pavement markers on that street. So now you got good positive guidance at night during inclement weather and stuff like that. So that's an addition, because half that road did not have raised pavement markers a year ago before they resurfaced it. So we got them to add that in this time. So you got the latest and greatest. Next slide. Yeah, so that's a picture just showing the new markers in. Next one. Our Cheadle message board continues to be moved around, which is currently out on the ANSA, where we're doing some drain work. The next stop is going to be on Sandia Creek. Next slide. We're continuing to review. Oh, where'd it go? It's a good time for a good joke.
Yeah.
Commercial.
We're continuing to back up one real quick. Continue to review intersection visibility, driveway visibility, and new street locations, and working with contractors on their traffic control to make the roads safer. Next slide. Sam already talked about this. There was a recent fatal. The road is not ours to maintain, it's the county, so some small light on that. Next slide. Calle Pico, we had this beautiful trailer for sale. Nobody took it, unfortunately, so we had to get rid of it. Next slide. You can see it was a little bit of an issue with it being jacked up like this, and wheels and parts are being taken off of it. We asked the CHP to haul it away for us, but they kind of balked on this. A little bit too big for them, I think is what they're saying. Next slide. One of the concerns was it was blocking one of the fire hydrants out there. You know, not a good thing to have in the middle of summer. Finally, our sheriff got involved and it's gone now. So thanks to our sheriff. And with that, I'll answer any questions you have about traffic.
A couple of years ago, we bought a new tractor. Equipment was $115,000. I know we have a few other pieces of equipment out there. How are we utilizing our equipment that you bought back then? And are they all in quality service? And are they all in good operating condition in case we have to need them this winter?
The answer is yes, we are utilizing our equipment and
Oh, no, we did.
they're in as good a condition as we can keep them. We have some equipment that's pretty old, but the new stuff is certainly in good condition.
Sorry.
Hey, excuse me, just sorry to interrupt. We're having a lot of people that can't hear, so we need to ask people
Louder?
to speak up, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, what'd you say, Steve?
The,
Equipment is all running, everything's all service record.
Well, there's some of the old equipment needs some repairs, so we haven't scheduled all those yet. You know, we only have so much budget. And some of the equipment we're not using right now, so we're phasing that in, but new equipment's up and running.
Well, that's a big part of keeping anything running, like changing the oil in your truck.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the more important.
Yeah.
thing because the-
Pedro and Dustin do a good job of doing that for us.
Who does-
I said Pedro and Dustin do a good job of keeping on that for us.
Well, thank you, Steve.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so nothing else on traffic, I'll go to maintenance. This is an example of,
Steve, the audience can't see, so just do it verbally.
oh,
Yeah.
Just go through it verbally.
okay, I'm sorry, I thought they would see it, sorry, I'm sorry. All right, so we have ongoing activities maintaining of our visibility on our roads. And so we showed a picture here of growth that goes in the streets. Next picture. Contacted the owner and growth is gone, so thank you, Jim. Next slide. We had the beautiful trailer here, you can't see, little small tiny home, parked on Rancho near Serrano, El Prado near Serrano, that's wrong. All right, sorry, asked the CHP to remove it. Next slide. It's now gone. Next slide. We have palm trees that were along Monte Rancho, 26 of them that needed to be maintained. Homeowner got involved, took care of it. Next slide. Cut it to the stumps, asked them to keep going. Cut, next slide. Now it's completely flat and we got our shoulder back again. Next slide. We had a drain that's clogged over on Ridgeline. Owners leaves. Asked them to take care of it. Next slide. It's all gone. Drain flows. We have bids out and we got our bids and we're finalizing them now for Reynolds Campos to fix the potholes and patching out there. At Calle Pico and Calle Roca, we're having a problem with owners and dumping their bins and treating this like a junkyard. So we're working with the packing houses to get their bins out of there. And next slide. Not all of them have been taken away, so we're now asking the sheriff to help us out with possibly CCTV cameras to help try to catch the offenders who keep dropping stuff off here. Calle Jardín, we had a water leak. Next slide. Water leak's gone now. RC WD fixed that. No sooner did we get that one fixed, and we've had another one pop up on Sandia Creek at Calle Tempo. Called the water district again. A couple of days later. Next slide. They got the patchwork almost done. Finally, we started clearing drains a few weeks back in preparation for the winter storms. We started with the dip crossing also at Dianza earlier this week. This is a before picture showing all the growth that's right up to the pipes. We rented a skid steer and started tearing it back. You can see that's about a 30 or 40 foot distance now that we've cut back. So away from the pipes to keep it clear, all the growth. And that's the final picture now for the winter upcoming. We had, in the meantime, during all this, we had 2 trees fall down, 2 different calls this month that we had to respond to. After several hours, the roads were reopened and trees were cleared away. And that's our maintenance report.
Thank you very much. As always. Yes. Yes, go ahead.
There's 2 large potholes on Rancho. I call it Cement Hill. If you've been out that way, that's where the cement trucks drop part of their load and go up that hill. There's 2 large ones there. Plus also on Rancho, you were mentioning the winter months coming up. There's an owner that did some excavation and left a huge trailer, tractor trailer, parked on that property. And every time we get any big rains, all that dirt that he's moved around comes out onto Rancho. We've been working with cleaning that up for the past 2 years. Is that a county issue or a code enforcement issue with that trailer sitting there diverting all the water around it? I don't know. I can show you sometimes where that is, but Pedro, I'm sure knows.
So, yeah, we're aware of it. We've turned it into county, community development, because they're having issues with him and his grading permit. Because if you grade properly, it's not supposed to slough off onto the road. This has been going on. Yeah, he has it, but he's not complying with it. So, I'm glad you brought it up because about that time of year, we got to go through this again. So, but they're in, it's the building department basically, that has been battling this guy. So that's the issue. He's not grading and you're supposed to have a winterization program and all that. But County of Riverside is not strong in enforcement in any areas. So here we are again, And we've talked to Jeffries about that too. Code enforcement's no good, building department enforcement's no good. They don't mind issuing the permits, but they don't like to go out and enforce them.
Does anybody else have any questions from the city report? I don't. Thank you very much for your thorough report and for your great work. We appreciate it. Okay, we come to item J, the committee reports. Starting with the engineering committee. You're up.
Okay, the engineering committee met on November 9th, at which time we can approve our October 12th meeting minutes. During the period of time, obviously, we did cover the topics of Sandia Creek, Via de Caro, and Buena Vista, and that's coupled with the traffic and field report. This evening, Mr. Hunt and Mr. Lindbring did bring everybody up to date in terms of the current status of all of our projects. And Mr. Johnson, anything you'd like to add? Any comments? No comments. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Finance committee report, Mr. Dallas Henry. We cannot hear you.
Finance Committee met yesterday. And,
Wait.
can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, Finance Committee met yesterday, and we reviewed October 2021 claims. You've already seen those, so don't need to go through that. We also discussed the need for new board members to have the ability to sign checks and move into the next session, December. At this point, I think I'm the only one that can sign checks, and there are certain checks that will require two board members. So we're going to be discussing that at the next board meeting on December 3rd. We also talked a little bit about the FEMA update and arbitration. I think Mr. Emmons may talk about that later. And we also looked at the LAIF investment statement, and we're making a whopping 0.2% on our money. I guess it could be worse, but I don't know how much worse. And maybe worse, who knows? The last thing is we got a report on the auditor, and that's moving along. And I think we're still aiming for the auditor's report in January. So that's the extent of the finance committee, and I'll take any questions if there are any.
Anybody have any questions from the board? Any from the audience? Okay, thank you very much, Sandra. That gets us to the legislative committee report, and you might notice this legislative committee report. fuel tax. And when I arrived here, almost 4 years ago, I met with Mr. Emmons on many occasions, trying to learn what were the main concerns of our district. And one of the things that I learned pretty early on was that not only do we pay property taxes, not only do we pay gas fuel taxes, not only do we pay extraordinary assessments for the road maintenance up here, but we get really nothing for it. Mr. Evans indicated to me that anybody who pays for fuel taxes is basically entitled by our state laws to have that money go towards the maintenance repairs of our road, except we here fall into this special category that our county open public roads are not maintained directly by the county, and we're not a city. So all our fuel tax money stays up in Sacramento. That's been going on for over 40 years. I think we were put into being in 1978, so do the math. Last time I checked. That being that as of May 1998, we have Proposition 218, which basically found that any and all taxes and fees such as what we are paying was considered a tax, could not be increased unless 2/3 majority of the impacted district or city or other entity approved it. And guess what? Most people don't want to increase taxes on themselves. So we never were able to do that. We tried, not we, the board of the district tried 2006, 7, 8, I'm not quite sure. It's been a while. And it was roundly rejected at the time. So pretty much that's not an option. And the money that we're collecting, we're falling behind with inflation. And not only is it there, and it's also sheriff, nothing we can do about the sheriff, but we can do something about road maintenance money. So Mr. Emmons was looking into the possibility could we somehow secure fuel tax money for the district. But we've been paying like crazy, getting nothing. So it's been, while I've been here, we've done 3 rounds of it. The first round we thought would be by going directly up to Sacramento and changing the law that says that fuel tax money should be divvied up between Caltrans, counties, and cities. And we're none of those. So we're trying to find out, could we become a county operated division and channel the money in there? And that simply just was a no-go. I think we spent a good year on that and basically got sent back. The folks up in Sacramento said you guys should try to deal with your local county. So the second round about that was initiated by our local Senator Melendez. And she recommended basically, along with the rest of the legislature, that we go back and work with our local supervisors and also the county of Riverside. And she was very instrumental in securing first a meeting, and then little by little we have been able to secure the support, the active support of Kevin Jeffrey, who's our local supervisor. So here on this last round, we are now at the point where Supervisor Jeffries has agreed to basically carry the banner for the fuel tax to the Board of Supervisors and securing their approval for adding the 86 miles we have up here in the district to the Riverside County town. That is something that is recorded every April, I believe, from the county to the state controller. And then based on that, the Riverside County will get, they obviously have a little bit more than 86 miles. But the 86 miles that is within the district will be added to the Riverside County tally. We will then get the money based on a memorandum of understanding when this comes to pass. Monies to pay for our maintenance. We're almost there. We need the buy-in from the other supervisors. We need the county district attorney to bless this. That is again where BB&K is working diligently. They have the nice thing about having a large company like BB&K is they have a specialist on just about every which area of the law in addition. And lo and behold, they have one that could work with us on this item as well. It is being drafted up right now, the paper that will go to the staff of Kevin Jeffries, so that they in turn can deal with the Riverside County Transportation Department and also their legal department. Once we get through that, the Attorney General and will be sending out a report to the staff of the various supervisors, and they will be taken out at a supervisory board meeting at some point. And hopefully that point will be sometime before April of next year, because otherwise it's another year where we don't get that $1 million that rightfully belongs to us. Can I finish? And then you're gonna can I finish? And then you react. So we are almost there. We have not only the buy-in from Kevin Jeffries, but we have his active support. His chief of staff is Jeff Green, and he is working closely with Mr. Emmons in order to facilitate this approval and the memorandum of understanding. I understand. We also had this past month a LAFCO hearing. Now, LAFCO and the supervisors are the ones that basically formed our district to begin with back in 1978. Why did they form it? Well, because when the developer, this Kaiser Aluminum, I believe it is. Edna, and Kaiser Edna, that's the incident. When they finished subdividing all the properties and building all the roads, they then turned the roads over to Riverside County, and Riverside County had no money. It was 1978, Proposition 13 happened in 1978, which really just kneecapped a lot of counties at the time. So they came up with this brilliant idea of establishing a road maintenance district that was going to be paid for by the U.S. In return for that, we got the one concession that we could decide for ourselves how we were going to maintain it. That is the one thing that we were able to get. However, we got the pleasure of paying extra taxes to pay for this. This should have all along been paid for by county, all the road maintenance that we are now paying separately. Basically, that is my report to you. LAFCO is recommending to the board supervisors that this money be channeled to Riverside County and going to us. So that was really positive development from the LAFCO side. We're having buy-in from supervisor. We know the other ones that have indicated their support for it, and we have buy-in from that. So, like I said, please go ahead.
Well, there still has to be one law that says that they gas, they don't get, they go through the gas tank privately on the roads. That's why we report on the road. Yes. So, the government will work with you to see if they can get it around the wording, but if the state doesn't approve it, maybe the money will be taken back. Because the way it's set up, we're just gonna go to the county, and the county's gonna add these miles or whatever road to the, when they turn in their amount of mileage that they turn into the state to get their money, the state's not necessarily gonna know that it's going to the CSD, then they're gonna pass it through. There's still Jeffrey's.
There are a couple of things
Yeah,
that
that's
speak.
60 points and one of them is the legality of it.
Well, the legality of it is that these roads we're maintaining with our extra fees actually, in actuality, belong to the roads. The maintenance part of it has been transferred to this district, but the legal ownership of it resides with the county. So if you wanted to look at it this way, it is as if the county has.
It's assets on our county. Dollars. The county owns.
I do know that the county owns the road, they have transferred the maintenance, and we have to this district. And then made sure that at the time that the resident fees were able to cover the cost of bearing that expense. This was done because the county at the time simply didn't have the money out of general funds to pay for maintenance of these roads. In essence, I think the district was being made such that the county didn't have to bear the cost. But when you look at it in this way, since the county owns the road, they're basically subcontracting the maintenance of the roads to this special district they create. And of which at least we have the authority to make the decision when, why, and where. Does it about cover it correctly, Mr.
I
Evans?
think so.
Okay, so that is why we are where we are now. I think we're very close. It's been a long slog. And for me, one of the main reasons why I wanted to stick out this period of time here was to see if we can just make it. And I think we're there. I won't be there to cross the finish line, but I will be standing on the side with you. So, yes, that's where we are. Anybody have any questions on that? No? Okay.
I have a question.
All right.
There's still, hello, I have a question.
That was legislation. The general manager's report, Mr. Emmons, what have you got for us?
No, you mentioned that we had a matter before LAFCO, and it was a rather significant matter. The state of California, in their efforts to reorganize local government, created a municipal service review, and this was in 2010. And what they have done is taken every local agency formation commission, which is the group that creates cities, creates districts, and we were created by Riverside County. They call it LAFCO, back in 1978. Anyway, they delegated each county LAFCO that they had to review all the agencies that they have created every 10 years. And they were a little bit behind, but they did community services districts this year. And we're one of 5 community service districts in Riverside County. And this is a very comprehensive review. It took about 1.5 years. They brought experts in, met with us, reviewed everything. It's like an audit, essentially. And it ends up a 65-page document. And we did extremely well. They really found no areas of concern or recommendations for any change. The only concern they had is with our benefit assessment being capped. Obviously, we're on a fixed income because that can't go up. So as inflation goes up, less money goes to roadway rehab every year. And so, of course, they knew about our efforts to obtain the fuel tax and assisted us somewhat with the Board of Supervisors because their only recommendation was to ask them to support, do whatever it takes to work with the loose CSD to get this fuel tax money. Because the other alternative, if we go out of business, is then who's going to maintain these roads? So anyway, nobody really wants to go down that road. So at least if we're tied into the fuel taxes, fuel prices rise, we won't, all of our income will not be fixed. So it really kicks the can about 30 or 40 years down the road. So anyway, that was a very significant accomplishment, and President Byers spoke to LAFCO and made the formal request, and lo and behold, who made the motion to activate that recommendation, but Supervisor Jeffries. So as we're marching along here, it's becoming the obstacles that have been in the path for so long are slowly coming down. So anyway, but there was something else that happened that's pretty significant, and most people don't know about it because there was no big deal made of it. But if you look at a map, and we don't have them back up yet because we just repainted, but if you look at the boundaries of the district, and then there's a hole, right? And LAFCO called it the donut hole. And it's what you've all known as Walker Basin. The staff of LAFCO felt that was crazy, that wasn't in what they call our sphere of influence, meaning if they ever develop that, they've got to annex. It's a little deeper than that, but essentially and they resisted it since 1978. LAFCO staff recommended putting it in our sphere of influence, and it passed, and there was no comment from the property owner. So it kind of cures a 40-year problem that has kind of been looming on the horizon, that they could essentially use our roads to get access to their development without being part of us. So that was eliminated about 2 weeks ago. So anyway, that was pretty significant and just kind of happened very quietly. So pretty good thing. So that's my report.
Thank you. And just to remind you all, if that does come to pass again, we don't have land use jurisdiction. We just have road and sheriff, but it at least gives us a little bit more control for those two who were part of the Walker Basin big effort back in the day. It will give a little bit more say so over the traffic aspect and the road aspect of the new development and the past. So it altogether, it also, if ever any development that may please the district or the residents of the district comes to pass, it would add more roads of whatever kind, size, and uses. And again, that will add to the fees that will be to the district. So it's a good thing altogether. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Emmons. Yes, it was a good month. Legal counsel matters, Mr. Simmons.
Tonight, we need to vote on a claim for damages, and it's related to a claim that the board voted on back in June called Jean Brunmark of Temecula. She was related to an accident that happened on July 4th, 2020. She was riding her bike on Carancho Road in Temecula, on Carancho Road, when she hit a patch of asphalt that was sunken in and was thrown off her bike over her handlebars and fell on the ground, knocking her unconscious. And she submitted a claim to the district of $750,000 for her damages. And at the time, the board rejected those that claim. She went ahead and sued, I believe both Duluth Community Services District and the Rancho California Water District, because we believe the catch was something that was created by the water district. Now the water district is coming to the district, Duluth district, and saying their claiming was called equitable indemnity and contribution, which is a fancy legal way of saying we didn't do it, they did. So I'm recommending that we again reject that claim, and we'll just submit that to our insurance company.
Could you share with the board and also the rest of the community why we reject it first?
So that, I mean, that's part of the formality of getting her to go ahead and sue, and then that can be turned into the insurance company, and then the insurance company will fight that battle on her behalf. She's doing, they're in the process of doing that now.
So on the matter of recommendation that we reject,
The claim from Rancho California Water.
from, could you please repeat the name again?
Rancho California Water District.
Oh, it's Rancho California. Can I have a motion to reject that claim? Do we have a motion to reject?
So
the claim?
move.
Thank you, Mrs. Alessandro. Who makes the motion? Second. Roberts. Okay. All in favor of rejecting, please so indicate by voting aye. Starting with Mr. Evans. Byers, aye. Roberts, aye. Mr. Johnson. Can't hear you.
Alessandria, aye.
Thank you, that's 4, and Mr. Johnson, we still can't hear you on. We can still see it. Aye. Can you take that as aye?
Yes.
Yes. All in favor, thank you.
Thumbs up is an aye.
All right, so the board has unanimously approved. Yes.
That's my report for the night.
Thank you very much. The last item that we have here is item M. And the first part of it is I'd like to share with you the results of the 2021 board of election. No, election for the board of directors. All right, so the 3 new directors to the board are Paula Carroll and Lucy's here with us tonight. Would you please stand up? And the second newly elected board director is Gina Rawson, and she's also here tonight. And the third director is Mr. Chuck Bowman, and he is away, and he's not with us today, but Mr. Chuck Bowman is our third new board director. All right. At this point, I'd like to move on just really quickly on reflecting on the accomplishment for the past 44 years, and like to start with that myself. When I came here, I basically approached what we want to do here as another community effort, volunteer job. I do understand that we're being paid the principal sum of $100 per meeting, which in my estimation is handsome. That's usually what I have in my home. I thought with the great cooperation and working closely with Mr. Emmons, we have brought a lot of transparency and kind of brought our district basically into the 21st century. We are now much more using electronic programs. For instance, we have a GIS program, this geographic satellite imagery, something like that. Which basically means that if you go on our website and you're wondering, what are all these people doing when they say they're busy, but I don't see anything done. You can go on our website, you can look over on the map, and you will find there's imagery that will tell you that certain parts of the road has been rehabbed, there maybe has been, striping done, there's been road maintenance done. All that you can find out just by simply going onto our website and looking at it. I think that's a great thing. Also, it should be able to communicate to you when there will be upcoming work. So it might be nice to know if you need to take a detour and add another 10 minutes into your commute or whatever is going on in that regard. Our filing system has moved from paper filing work. We still do some backup of that because you never know. But most of it is now in the clouds. Gives us much easier, much quicker access. We've really been able to use that while we've been researching all our original paperwork that we need to bring and document why was it we needed fuel tax monies, for instance. We have moved from a staff engineer and staff traffic engineer to the companies of Wilden and Mr. Steve Liebling and Mr. Dave Hunt are part of that very excellent company that is working with a lot of different counties and cities throughout here in Southern California, and they have really brought their expertise to bear. I think it's been very equitable as far as maintenance and rehab service. It goes where it's needed. And that has been really something I have found very beneficial to everybody here. Fuel taxes is kind of the one that I think is a good thing that we've been able to do. Again, Mr. Emmons was the one that really clarified to the board that it might be possible, and we pursued it. We lived and we learned. We spent some money, yes. I think that is money that's probably very well spent, and I think we'll see it coming back. That's basically my reflections on the past 4 years. Thank you.
I think that was really one of the biggest things we did to help out the community. It was putting the stop sign. Great. You guys, we probably put a couple more signs up there like I talked about before, but I think that's the single biggest thing that has helped you guys out there. Or as that goes, and that wasn't that big. That did like some of the others. So the practical application of this good old fashioned stop sign, slow them down. They need a couple more to slow them down.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Madam President, if I may have the floor for just a few minutes, I promise. I think we're all freezing to death in here. But I do want to pay a little recognition to the three departing board members. And so I just have a few words. Mike Adams indicated a few minutes ago that he's been on the board for 14 years, but I believe it might be a little longer, maybe 16.
4 terms, right?
The first one was the 2 year, somebody passed away and I filled in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I didn't go that far back.
All right. Well, obviously, with that many years, he has held many of the board positions. And as a result of his departure here, on behalf of the district, we wanted to present this placard to you, and it reads, presented to Michael Adams, Vice President, member of the board 2007 to 2021, in appreciation of your service to the community, Duluth Community Services District. Okay. Mr. Ray Johnson on the screen. Okay, Mr. Johnson has served 4 years, and during this period of time, he has served both on the Finance and Engineering Committee. We're definitely going to miss you, and most certainly your colorful Hawaiian shirts. Wish you and your wife safe and fun travels. And with those pictures, I'm sure we're going to see those Hawaiian shirts again, right?
Yes.
So again, we wish you and your wife safe and fun travel. Keep in touch and please return and share with us all of your wonderful stories. We thank you, and your plaque, though you cannot quite see obviously, it is presented to Raymond Johnson, member of the board 2017 to 2021, in appreciation of your service to the community, the Duluth Community Services District. Mr. Johnson, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course, last but not least, Marianne Byers. You also served 4 years. You've held the position of vice president, and most recently, the last 2 years, as the president of this group of individuals. You also have served on the Finance and Engineering Committee, and most importantly, the fuel tax big project. Thank you very much on that. You, Robert, and Jim have done an outstanding job in moving this initiative forward. And believe me, I certainly do not want to be in your shoes during all of those meetings. It's a different world out there when you're dealing with political figures and trying to make things happen in the state, your local community. And so we do definitely thank all 3 of you, and we're going to make sure that this goes through. There's a great deal to say, but I just want to conclude with the following remarks, and these are my personal remarks, and they do differ from that from Mr. Adams. You are truly a leader. You have demonstrated some skills that one would not think we would have to pull out of our hats on occasion here at these board meetings, and in that, the professionalism, the respect for the board members, to the community out here, being patient and listening to the community, and along with the help of the CSD staff, and also with the general manager, and also our engineers over here, Mr. Hunt and Mr. Lindring. And also I wanted to recognize Steve Ron Stein as well. He's certainly a difficult part of that. But we thank you, and we're going to miss you. And we hope to see your face on the other side over here. And if we need any assistance, I know that you're going to be available for the tax initiative. So with that, I would like to present to you to Marianne Byers, President, member of the board 2017 to 2021, in appreciation of outstanding leadership and service to the community.
I may, I'd like to make some comments.
Robert's trying to get.
Oh, I'm very sorry, Robert.
I'd like to make some comments, if I may. First of all, I thank Debbie. Those wonderful comments, Debbie. And I look forward to the next 4 years working with you and with the new board members. So I'm really excited about that. And I think we have a great future. And I think all of us will be committed, and we'll continue the work that has been started. So thank you very much. I'd like to thank Ray. He's kind of the voice of reason. When you look down at the end of the table and you want to know just where we are in this discussion, I think Ray's quiet comments have always been very much appreciated. And I thank him very much. And I hope he does do a lot of traveling. I know he's done a lot of that in the past, and will continue that in the future. Just a comment or two about Mike. I've been on this board now twice with Mike, the last few years and then previously. Mike has been on this board for 14 years. Do you know that's 1,400 meetings? And that's about 2 meetings a month during that period of time. And it comes out to an enormous number of hours. So you think about how you spend all your time and all of the hours that go into it. This meeting, for example, has been, 3 hours? And we've had Mike in the past meetings that went on for 4 hours and even longer. So it's a tremendous time commitment. He's done that. I don't know how he's done it for 14 years because it is very wearing on you when you keep doing this, and the hours you spend not only at the committee meetings and at these board meetings, but in preparing for this and looking into things, talking to constituents, I think is something that we should all recognize and thank Mike for that. Thank him for all of those years that he's worked. And I thank him. I know the board does, and all of our constituents do as well. So I just wanted to say that to you, Mike. And then Byers.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And President Byers, I'd like to say this. I've really enjoyed working with you. We've been on several committees together, compensation, the legislative committee, finance committee most recently, and it really is a pleasure working with you. Your analysis of our situation and your ability to present that to legislators and to our community has been one of the reasons we've been as successful as we have been. The other part of that is your relationship and partnership with Jim Emmons. And by the way, I'd like to point out that Mike and I were on the board that hired Jim. Things that I'm proud of, and I know Mike is very proud of that as well. So I just wanted to point that out. But your relationship and participation with the Jim, your partnership with him has really made the difference. That's why we have the gas tax coming to us, and we don't want to count our chickens too long before they hatch, but it's looking very, very good, better than it ever has. And all of the work that we've done, and you've listed so many of the accomplishments. I really want to thank you. Thank you for your leadership and your friendship, and we will miss you. Not only do I thank you, the board thanks you, and all of our constituents as well. So thank you very much.
President Byers, I'd just like to make a few comments. Yeah, so I guess I better turn this down first. There we go. Ray, I see you out there. There's your Hawaiian shirt. It's been a pleasure working with you. We've all enjoyed working with you. I'll tell a quick story here about Ray. We were at a convention of special districts. So Ray said he's going to go to the meeting on environmental. And I said, well, with all the trouble environmental gives us around here, I'll go with you. And it was all the speakers were environmental attorneys. And as we walked in the door, we were kind of late and we had to sit in the front row. So we were walking down the center aisle. You know how it is when you got to go clear to the center, the front row. Anyway, everybody's looking at you. And all of a sudden, all the speakers jump out of their chairs and start screaming, Ray, Ray, Ray. And I'm like, what? They're looking at us. I realized they're talking about him. Well, I guess what I didn't know in his previous life, he's extremely well known in the environmental world. And as an attorney, he won some huge cases, one being Port of Long Beach, and that was kind of changed the environmental smog laws and things like that. So anyway, how did it go? So we sit down and they're all talking about this Ray Johnson, and we can't believe he's in our midst. Why are you here? And he said, I'm on a CSD board, And they said, "Oh, so that's what happened to you." And and one of the speakers said, "Well, Mr. Johnson, why don't you begin by telling the audience?" And of course, we're already in the front row. So he turns around, he's addressing the entire room. He said, "Tell us how we know you," or something like, "know all of us." And he stands up, looks at the crowd and says, "That's because I've sued all of you at one time or another. And most of the time I won." So he's an interesting guy, interesting background, and we've enjoyed working with you, Ray. Mike, well, thanks for hiring me. I appreciate that. And that's right, exactly. But yeah, 14 years is one heck of a long time. And you know a lot of the background and detail around here. And we've enjoyed working with you, and you will be missed. So, and Mary Ann, I think everybody knows that we worked pretty closely together over the last 4 years, primarily too. And all of us, I know, feel the same. You're absolutely a pleasure to work with. You're one of a kind, in a absolute, the most positive way that I can say that. And we've heard about your leadership, but I have to say it again. You possess outstanding leadership quality. You kind of exude leadership without trying, because you're very goal oriented. You keep your eye on the goal, or the target, or whatever. But you're so easy to work with in that regard. You know, some people are very goal oriented and they're a little difficult to work with. With you, everybody just seems to absorb the leadership. You basically set the agenda without making any big deal about it. So I really appreciated that. It's very unique and unusual. I work with a lot of leaders, but you just seem to have it. It's like innate. But also, you're just a really nice person, and we've had some really nice times together. And I really enjoyed personally the opportunity to work with you these past few years, and I have a feeling we'll be staying in touch. I've got to keep track of what you're up to. So anyway, and thanks for all your support of the staff and the support in the community. Your heart's really in the right place. So thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Wanted to say thank you to my fellow board members, Mike, Debbie, Ray, Robert. Bringing to this board, like I said, kind of in the spirit of community service. I have been working on another matter that was very special to me prior to that, and that was trying to save our community from the drought board grant that you all know about. Grant. This is Brady was part of that group, and so was Kathleen Hamilton. They basically kind of taught me how to drag thousands upon thousands of people with widely different views and make them coalesce about what they need to do. So whatever skills I've learned, I have learned from people like Jim Brady, Kathleen, from Jim Evans, who really taught me what it means to work in a public agency where you've been as a public elected person. So I want to thank you for all that I've learned from you guys, and been able to accomplish a lot. So thank you guys. Ms. Thompson,
I went wrong. Okay. Good. It is inked.
God, yes.